All right, what's up, you guys? UFO Proof here, and I have an interesting story for you guys today, which is this was actually sent to me by my friend Dinkum, so I appreciate you sending this to me as a, um, a clip that I heard. So apparently, the government has two more videos of encounters with the Navy and UFOs, and but not just the encounters, but also photographic evidence along with them. Uh, and the what's it, Chris Mellon from the former deputy director of defense or whatever was uh, who brought this story, brought it out to the world or whatever yesterday. Hey, what up, Glenn? How you doing, homie? First in chat, got it. So yeah, he's first. What's up, motherfuckers? Jump in here and say what's up. Who's second? so, so this hey, what up, Crow Steph? How you doing, brother? Yeah, this was a really interesting story. And what up, Philip? How you doing, brother? Aloha. I thought he said Aloya at first. That's actually my last name. Very similar to Aloha. Um, so, yeah, I'm blown away by this. I mean, I can't wait to see these videos. Apparently, Chris Mellon is having issues with the government actually wanting to release it. And I had heard some stuff in this segment that my friend sent me that actually kind of blew me away. That apparently there are the UFO task force that Congress had instituted to, report on all the UFO sightings all the UFO information that the government has every 6 months. Apparently, consists of two individuals who are not getting paid, or they're severely underfunded, and that is just a travesty. That's pathetic. And if we have to go out and protest and make our voice heard, that has to fucking change. That shit's got to be put out there. There needs to be more people in there than two motherfuckers trying to run this whole shit. It's ridiculous. But apparently they got videos of the black cube UFOs that are inside of a clear sphere. Okay, so they got video of that. And then they also got video of a black flying triangle coming out of the ocean, flying away to space, just flying away. I mean, could you guys imagine that? Because I don't know about you, but I have yet to actually see a legitimate black flying triangle on camera. Like where you can say this is a black flying triangle. I've seen it at night on camera where they claim, oh, this was a black flying triangle. I've seen a black flying triangle. Well, I've seen a black flying delta, well, and a triangle as well. But so I know what it looks like. So it'd be interesting to see it again. It'd be really fascinating to have to see this fucking thing. I mean, well, at least the one I saw. I don't know if it's the same one or not. Probably not. But hey, what up, Bob? How you doing, homie? Yeah. So this is great. I want to say cheers. I want to see this stuff get released, and this is pissing me off. Is that Chris Mellon was sending text messages to James Fox, who I fucking love, and while he was on Joe Rogan's show, so he would bring this up to get it out to the media. Why is Chris Mellon forced to do this? Because apparently they have these videos, but they are blocking these videos from coming out. Now, I mean, excuse me if I'm wrong, but I was under the impression that the government UFO videos, the Pentagon UFO videos that they released, the full versions were not released because of ways and methods that the videos were obtained were classified. So by having the beginning of the video or the end, you would be able to determine how this stuff was filmed or with what kind of equipment specifically or something like that, or where they were, something that they don't want you to know. However, this new footage was taken by the pilot on his fucking iPhone. Both of them, both times, it was taken by a pilot on their iPhone or Android or whatever. So it's the pilot's own personal recording device that filmed this stuff. And they're preventing him or them from releasing that footage. Now, how long is that going to last? Not long. That will get leaked. And I wonder if they are doing that because they know it's going to get leaked. I mean, I hope that's not how they're thinking. They're not, trying to, play that many steps ahead where they're like, well, he's going to do this and do that, so we're going to do. That's fucking retarded. But it'd be really sad if they were. But why are they preventing these pilots from releasing their UFO photos, especially when for the past couple of years they've been going out of their way? What up, Kevin? How you doing, homie? They've been going out of their way to get all of their pilots to report any strange stuff that they see, because of the fact that for so long pilots were afraid to report UFOs. That has prevented pilots from, reporting advanced craft from another country that they may have never heard about, because they might look like a UFO to them. They might be like, what the fuck is that? They don't know what that is. I mean, you guys seen my video on quantum UFOs. The hunter killer robots that they were making at MIT and shit. I mean, those things, they're like the first kind of drones, but they use jets but there's no like actual engines on them. The jets are coming out of the shaft of the body itself, out of the fuselage. Like, it's fucking crazy. And if a pilot seen that, they would be like, what the fuck is that? And they're like, well, that's a UFO. I'm not reporting that. So that's what they're trying to get them to report it. Not because they're like, oh, we want to, show the world that aliens exist. They're not scientists. They don't fucking know or care, really. They just care, can we fucking defend the country if shit goes down? That's all they give a fuck about. Because that would look really bad on their fucking resume. That, oh, you know what? We lost Florida. I'm sorry. We're trying to keep it, but it's gone. Okay? America's Wang is no more. Good to see me back on here. Good to see you too, Bob. Back on here with me. Yeah, so that's I want to see something to happen. I want to see some action. I want some litigation to happen, because this is bullshit. I've never been so fucking angry with fucking, government trying to cover shit up. It's like, dude, they have the foot. They're going to tell everyone they got it, Hey, what up, Lucky Kentucky, or Kentucky Lucky, or Funky Monkey, whatever. Brass Monkey. Yeah, they got the footage. Let them fucking release it. Why is it being forced like this? Is this what's been happening for the entire time, that they're having to force its way out of everything? I mean, probably, because look how long it took the Pentagon to release that shit. Maybe people have been trying to do it for how many years, decades, without prevail. But then, you get someone, and really it was Chris Mellon who got it released. All right, what up, Gyro? He got it released. But the truth is at any time, him or his homies could have leaked it if they wanted to. In fact, the Pentagon UFO videos were leaked. Everyone knows that. So before they were released by the Pentagon, they were leaked years before, because it's like, you got to consider that the pilots and the people who took that shit, they're like, like the people on the Nimitz and shit, they're like, nah, I'm fucking posting this shit, dude, And you got to remember, why wasn't the Tic Tac, video posted like immediately, and why wasn't it a big deal? Well, I don't know, maybe because fucking YouTube still had like a year before it was invented. So it's like, you're just going and posting it where, on some fucking porn site. Like, where were you posting shit in 2004? All right. You weren't posting shit anywhere. All right. You were still watching photographs load like this. Loading. You know, that's what you were doing on a fucking real player, all right? So shut the fuck up. Uh, yeah. So I could see why that shit was imposed. But as soon as that shit started, you know, there was social media and it was getting big. That shit got fucking leaked immediately. You know, to like above top secret and shit like that. Which is really cool. You know, I even believe it was leaked to the Black Vault and shit. You know, but not, you know, no one took it seriously because those videos on the face of it are crap. It's only that they come from the Pentagon that these become absolutely incredible videos. And then it's also because of the lack of most people's understanding of you know, how a fighter plane flies and all the readouts and everything it says on the screen and what you're actually witnessing. Especially back then, people really didn't know what FLIR and night vision. They were like, okay, what, you know, I'm looking at black and white. And they're like, no, this is thermal. See, people are stupid, you know. I knew because I had ran from the cops several times back then, so I was very up to date about how that shit worked. You know, what up, Bryce? How you doing, homie? Ho hum, how you doing, brother? Also, a lot of these feeds from aircraft are recorded on classified systems. It's not easy to just grab that data. It's highly illegal. Bryce Z has an excellent point. That is very true. Now, you got to also remember that in the Navy and in the military in general, they have access to a completely different type of internet than we do. So they still have internet, but it is a military, you know, it's a government style internet that only they have access to. So, you know, to them, they could go and post shit like this, classified shit on fucking online that's just goes to military people. So we don't have access to it. However, I'm sure some of us do, which that would be awesome. But yeah, that's, you know, that's one of the biggest problems. And you know, and that leads me to another point that you know, who has control over that? Is it the government? Is it the you know, is it Lockheed Martin? Is it Apple? You know, the guy who took the footage. Does he have it? Who has the fucking right to it? I mean, because he's owned by the government, obviously, at that point. So literally, you know, he is nothing more than a fucking marionette or whatever they say happens. He doesn't have fucking, you know, it doesn't matter what he thinks, you know. What he thinks is not good enough for all of us. They just say, hey, listen, all right, private, just shut the fuck up and give me 20. Okay? And when you're done, give me a goddamn UFO video. Because you never seen nothing, have you? That's right. Get in the brig. Or I don't know, is that what they say? Maybe, I don't know. So you gotta consider that. I mean, like, that guy has no fucking power. But I'll tell you what, I know for a fact who would have the power, and this is something that sucks because if this is the path that that leads to, you know, if this is the ultimate conclusion that, you know, ufology leads you to, it's really a dead end. Which is, you want to know who's going to have like the best military UFO videos? Raytheon. Raytheon or Rand Corporation, you know. Any of these companies that are defense contractors that design and build advanced optics and recording equipment for the government. These guys, no doubt in my mind, have created equipment that has captured UFOs in action. No doubt in my mind. And everything that you know, you got to remember, it's like in the military, when shit's going down, everything is sent out and copied and done and recorded in like triplicate. So the military gets one, the archives get one, and then Raytheon, the creator of it, gets one, you know. In fact, they probably get the first one. because it all goes back to their data processing centers and shit. So they store all their data, and you can't go to them and ask. You can't create a freedom of information request and say, "Hey, Raytheon, give me all your stuff on UFOs." They're like, "Get the fuck off my property before I stick my dogs on you, you fuck." What the fuck are you doing here, dude? Fucking wipe my ass with that piece of paper. Get out of here, fucking bum. I just assume they're like rich snobs. I don't know why, but probably. Um, yeah. Boeing would probably have it. Lockheed Martin. Just a ton of fucking companies would. At least not a ton, but at least some big defense contractors are going to have it. DARPA probably has lots of information, and if you're going to go to any government agency that's going to have information, I don't know about recorded UFOs. However, recorded data that the UFOs are present here, is probably on camera, radar, lidar, a bunch of stuff, is a different intelligence program most people don't even know exist. All right, see, everyone knows about the CIA or the NSA and all these guys, but the NRO is number one. All right, so if any one of these agencies are going to have information on UFOs, NRO is going to be it. All right, and not saying because they study it, because of what their job entails, they would have accidentally caught probably a couple hundred or thousand of them, no doubt. Just like NORAD, because of its job, because of their duties and their equipment, there's no doubt that they have caught probably a few hundred or thousand UFOs, with their radar and shit like that. And no doubt. But you got to remember, like, these guys are scared to death for their men, for their own careers, for advancing and getting promoted and shit. That shit's really important to them, especially for the guys who make it a career. And so, they could be looking on the screen and see a fucking straight up flying saucer and an alien just cruising by, like, waving to them, and they're like, I saw nothing. What was that? Nothing. That was a glitch on the fucking Matrix. What do you know? I didn't see shit. All right. How you doing, Captain? They'll just fucking just like whatever, because they're not willing to risk their careers over it. Even though they might be completely fascinated by it, they would just ignore it. And I could absolutely see that. Yeah, because it's got to be people. You got to have people who are. It's about something different. And you got to consider this. So, what do you think? What do you think stops people who worked at S4 on alien spacecraft or recovered vehicles or whatever, from just coming out and telling people, like Bob Lazar did? All right, what do you think stops, like, his old partner, like Barry Castillo or Dennis Mariani or any of these guys? What do you think stops them from coming out? All right, so they signed a non-disclosure agreement that they fucking are owned by the government. Should they discuss any of this classified information, they are subjected to fucking court martial and going to prison. And that's the thing. You gotta understand, like, what they sign away is everything. They don't get to have their day in court at any time. These guys could have just come and snagged Bob up, and just as the last you ever heard of him. However, by him coming out and saying something, they knew. After that, they're like, okay, we can't do that now. But if they knew, oh, this is what he might do, they would have just thrown him away. Lock him up, make up something. But yeah, so that's one thing that these guys are, probably worried about, that they could easily be arrested and, thrown in prison without the ability to defend themselves and without the ability to speak to an attorney. You're not allowed an attorney. You don't get visitors, you gotta understand. Espionage against America is punishable by death. It is like the only crime where you can be killed. We can sentence you to die without you actually having killed somebody yourself. Usually, for us to sentence you to death, it's because you had to kill somebody else. All right, but this is the only time we're like, were you spying on us? And they're like, ah, yes, spying on you. They're like, kill them, hang them, feed them to sharks. It's the one thing where they'll fucking kill you. So I'm sure there's many things like that that's, intimidating, but maybe not to all. But another thing is, if you had been working for them for any significant amount of time, all right, uh, you still have money coming to you from the government, uh, paying for could be for the rest of your life or whatever, and that could be your deal. And these guys, their pension, everything that they worked for, all the money they paid into it, and all this shit, dude, gone. That's the most important. Is that oh yeah, you are complete. Everything that you've earned is gone. They will freeze all your assets, and you're fucked. Not just you, but your family's fucked. So they use stuff like that to fuck with people. That's why when someone comes out and blows a whistle, they know they're screwed. And so they're prepared to go to prison. They're prepared to live without money. Usually meaning as in they're prepared as in they fucking ran and they've saved up money. Like Edward Snowden and shit, and like he got away, Then hopefully, when Biden gets in, they'll let him back, but um I don't know, but I'm sorry. Let me check your comments, you guys. I'm sorry. Oh hey, what up, Z? What up, Z-Brax? How you doing? A 501 UFO. Celine, how you doing, homie? Doing good? What up, Mini Man? How you doing? Doing good, baby? Justin, how you doing, homie? Looking sharp today, motherfucker. Thank you. Appreciate that. One reason government gets private defense contractors to bypass FAOA requests and avoid scrutiny. No, he's saying that's why they do it. Correct. Zeke actually has a perfectly valid point. That's why they get defense contractors and stuff. That's why, it's important for them to do that. Where they'll make the company that they work with federally protected. So it's like it's basically like a fucking government ran business or whatever, but it's also a private business that can just basically do whatever it wants to avoid any kind of scrutiny or congressional oversight. So, and especially the defense contractors and shit, dude. And you gotta understand, like these guys, they don't give a fuck at all. I mean, they would bring a fucking laundry sack full of money to fucking Congress and dump it on a fucking congressman's desk, and they're like, here's your bribe, now vote the way we want and shut up. They like just don't, they don't fucking care. I mean, there was a big scandal in this, like a bunch of congressmen, fucking senators and shit got arrested and went to prison for taking bribes from Boeing, Well, what happened to Boeing? Nothing. You know why? Because the people who were supposed to do something to them were taking bribes from them as well. They're like, hey, remember that thing about us? Yeah, I'll make it go away here. They're just throwing money at them. I'm talking like a big stack. They take a big stack of money and they just hit them in the face. They're like, shut the fuck up. The fuck out of here. They're like, yes, sir, all right. No, I dropped that. Give me that. It fucks. They're all just paid off. That's what it comes down to, But you start fucking with people's money, then there's a big difference, So I want to see this shit get written into the budget, and say, oh, you're not getting your fucking money if we don't see this shit, right, Bob? That's right. Hey, what up, Ryan? How you doing, homie? What up, Vincent? Doing good, homie? Yeah, I want to be a congressman too. What's the point of the Senate? I don't even know what, isn't basically the Senate is literally Mitch McConnell. That's it. So it's like, do you want to be a senator? No, I want to be Mitch McConnell. That's what it's like. You want to be the president. The president's just one person, right? Yeah. Well, so is the Senate. No, the Senate's made up of a bunch of people. No, it's not. It's what it used to be. But nowadays, the Senate is literally made up of one dude, Mitch McConnell. That's it. He controls everything. Everyone else, I don't even know why they're there. Like, why do they even come to the Senate and do what we're fucking, we asked them to do, to represent us? Why even go there? You have no power. The only one who has power in the Senate is Mitch McConnell. He's it. That's it. Just one guy. And he says, well, this can happen and that happens. Everything else, fuck off. And whatever he wants, that's it. It's like we don't need a Senate. If we have a fucking House Majority Leader, that's just the guy who runs everything. So he makes the fucking rules. Everyone else, fuck off. Take your fucking constituents and go home and fuck yourself, man. It's terrible. Yeah, so I'm excited about these UFO videos, but I want to see some shit happen, This is ridiculous that these guys are afraid to put it out, that they're being told not to put it out. Thank you, Zebrex. That's right, exactly, right? Right, Bob? Tell them. If we win Georgia, we'll have control over the Senate. Yes, that is very true, because we'll be 50-50, and then we'll have Kamala Harris as the tiebreaker. Which is great, because there's so much shit where, they'll just use the Senate to fucking block everything, like they did all for how long Obama's been in office. It's like Republicans just don't give a fuck. They just don't care what happens to the country at all. Fuck everybody else. We just want to fucking come in there and just disrupt and fuck everything up for everyone. Look what they're letting Trump do. I mean, the guy blatantly was blackmailing a foreign country into interfering in an American election to dig up fucking political dirt on his opponent, or else he would not give them the already approved congressional money for that country, the aid for that country. Dude, yeah, he was impeached for this, all right? The evidence was blatant, okay? He did it. Everyone knows about the phone call because it was so perfect, right? So everyone knows he absolutely did it. We know it. It gets to the Senate, done. You're fine, go away. Nope, you'll be okay. You're not getting impeached. Like, what the fuck? Like, are you fucking it? Like, what the fuck is wrong, dude? Like, Republicans just don't give a fuck. They're just like, whatever, dude. Listen, we're just trying to get paid. We don't care about the constituent fucking laws. I ain't got time for all that. Listen, do you got my kickback or not? Okay? I need you to buy 10,000 copies of my book or fuck off. What the fuck are you doing here? I mean, it's what it's like. All right. Hey, what up, Backbone? How you doing, homie? Yeah, it is. You're right. Zebrex is saying we need to make some adjustments in our political system. It's a freaking mess. That's absolutely true. Especially when it's like, look how hard it is for us to get just UFO information out. And this is stuff that is the way it was recorded is already known. The means by which it was recorded, the device that it was recorded on is all known. And not only is it known, it is stuff that can go and be purchased by your average consumer any day of the week. So why is the government coming out and saying, oh, you know what, we're going to keep that classified for now? So what's happening, it seems to me, not so much that it's the means and methods of how they're obtaining some of these UFO videos, but that as the encounters become closer with higher resolution, all of a sudden shit becomes a lot more real. And they're probably just like, whoa, you know what? This is almost too real. When you're looking at the fuzzy gray blob fucking flipping over, what the fuck I'll do? Who gives a fuck? But if you're looking at that shit in 4K of a UFO, of a fucking craft from another world flying, you're just like, You know, I bet you it's changing some people's fucking, you know, they're just like, oh, you know, I mean, I'm not so sure we should be, you know, you got some crazy motherfuckers going fucking batshit crazy. Look at this fucking craft, dude. You know, I mean, maybe it's one of ours. Maybe it's one of ours. And I'm like, no, we don't want, you know. But that's the thing. If it was one of ours, the pilots are theirs. So they would have been notified immediately. Hey, you need to listen, Maverick. I need you to shut the fuck up, okay? Or I'm gonna turn you into goose and break your fucking neck on your fucking ejectable fucking cockpit. All right? I'm gonna push it from fucking here on the ship. I'm gonna make you eject and crack your head on that shit. You'll be fucking floating in the ocean with a bunch of green shit around you. Trust me, dude. Don't fuck with us. Shut the fuck up. I don't know if I would say that, but I mean, I would. All governments need to be real with the world, because seriously, do they think we are all born yesterday? Love to the channel. Thank you, homie. I appreciate it. Yeah, no, that's true, you know. What new government videos, Kyle? This is above your pay grade, Blake, Brent, all right? Are you guys fucking kidding me? Are you serious? You don't know? Wow. You guys should have been. I'm fucking, you know what? I'm so glad because I was gonna fucking call you guys and say something, and I'm so glad I didn't, because you guys can jump on this shit in like a fucking second and have a fucking, you know, hour-long documentary already made, you know, before I got my hair done. You know, I'm fucking glad I didn't say shit. You know, you guys see that shit? You guys are laughing. My fucking tongue's fucking, it's the truth, god damn it. All right, I swear to God, dude. I'm going to fucking tell them about how the government got new UFO videos, dude. They would have a documentary made before we hung up the phone. It would already be on YouTube. I'd go and hang up the phone. I'm like, oh my God, it's already premiering, you fucking fucks. They're too quick on that shit. I'm glad I didn't say shit. So I just found this out yesterday. You know, Dean come and sent me a clip on it, and yeah, that's what I thought. The photo of a balloon caught by a jet pilot. No. I don't know if is it a photo of a balloon? I have no idea. I ain't seen a photo. I ain't seen anything of it yet. Yes, I saw the pyramid. That's kind of interesting. Where exactly are you guys? Where is this pyramid at? Cause I gotta say, to me, personally, it does look, you know, pretty mundane. I understand it's in Hawaii. It looks like it might be, you know, how they fucking would build like runoff and river inlets and shit, dude. You know, for water. It looks like you know, does water ever run around any of that place? Is there ever a place where there would have been water running in front of that pyramid? No? Okay. So okay, I'm wrong. All right. But that's what it looks like. And then the now there wasn't any writing or anything on there, was there? At least not that I saw in the video, right? Yes, there was water at the edge to natural running water. Okay, so I mean, so you know you know, that's a possibility. The problem is that like you can't really see the shape of this you know, this construction. Like, you know, like you guys couldn't, and I don't know if this is because of the jungle or what, you know, whatever, but it's just like the way to, like, you know, get like this 360, you know, like a view of it. You know, like it's like I'm not sure I'm trying to picture it in my head, but I don't know if there's too much shit overgrown over it or what, you know. But it's really fucking cool. But I'm like, I don't. There's just not enough information for me to go on. I'm just trying to. I'm looking at it, I'm like, you know, I've seen shit like that, but it's literally been like where people in fucking not ancient times, but fucking early times would when they would have water would come like and they would do runoffs, they would have like these fucking these they would build up fucking walls and they would fucking break them all flat and they would have like this flat spot where they were fucking standing and fucking they would work their way up and so it has this kind of like this kind of shape to it, and that the pyramid shape to me was like I couldn't tell if it was because the building was shaped that way or if it's because there was debris that fucking merely made that shape, and so that's all you could see. Uh, it was kind of difficult, man, but it was really fucking cool. But there's a bunch of other, like I was fucking like I was like, oh, I want to know this, I want to know that, but you know, it's old. No one has witnessed this until now. How old is the question? If made by Hawaiians, the history books could be changed. That's very true. Um, especially because I mean, like, well, yeah, I mean, Hawaiians, yeah, they, fuck, uh, did they really even do construction of any kind of heavy construction at that time, or on the islands? I don't think so, huh? They, like Hawaiians, even though they were like descended from Polynesians, I think were actually like really primitive, right? Yeah, something like that. But, it's not like you know, in Rapa Nui or some shit. Motherfuckers aren't building like Easter fucking island giants and shit, like Moai and shit, but you know, still same people. Thank you, Bob. I appreciate it. There might be a sleeping predator inside that pyramid. That's very true. All right, be careful. um, I knew that dancing. I'm sure, right? I don't know. I want to check it out, dude. I mean, that's really interesting. Yeah, it's but there's it did have an interesting the iconography, but there's no kind of writing or anything like that, but that's I mean, I don't even know, like I don't know like Hawaiian history. I don't understand, like I'm not sure if they what was their did they have like a written script and shit like that? I have no idea. You guys would know better than I would. Either which way, I was fascinated by the videos. I thought it was really cool, man. No, 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 no. It's not very clear. I'll tell you that right now. Okay. I mean, like, fucking maybe clear to you guys, but not fucking clear on the other side. Not to us. I mean, like, you can be pointing it out, but that doesn't make it fucking clear to us, man. I mean, like, it's fucking and that's the thing, and I'm like, that there are fucking there are things that get constructed by older people or whatever that do have that kind of style of construction. At least some parts of it. Not I can't say because I'm not there, and it's difficult to tell from the video. Um, but it was still really fascinating, man, and that's super cool, dude. And it's like, what are you guys? What are you guys doing about it? Who we brought it out to? Fact is, it's a new discovery. See, that's fucking awesome, man. We need to know our past civilizations and maybe even if we are the aliens and if we are from Mars. I doubt we're from Mars. I doubt that, but everything else, who knows? Smithsonian, see, that's excellent. Panspermia, right? Yeah, see, that's you want to at least get. I mean, fucking, go get a fucking go to you guys got a university there. Go to your university and get a fucking archaeologist just to come with you guys real quick. And be like, listen, we going to take you to see this fucking site that we discovered. Blah blah blah. Just tell us what you think. And Yeah, make sure you keep the location to yourself, you know? Don't even tell him where you're going. Don't tell anybody. Except for me. You better tell me fucking as soon as we get off here. Okay? I want to know. Fucking GPS shit. Fucking, I want fucking long and lad immediately. Oh, see, okay, as soon as it's funny because I'm sitting there saying this shit, and then what pops up as our comment, it says, working on it, but we don't want to disclose the exact location. See, so we're on the same page, okay? I feel you, dude. Yes, blindfold them, you know. Um, yeah, you know, you know, and I don't go for a geologist. Don't go get a geologist, man. All right, make sure you go and get yourself an archaeologist. All right, and there is a tremendous difference. All right, but you know, you go and you get yourself a geologist, you're gonna have a bad time. All right, because he's gonna believe me, his answers are gonna piss you off, dude. Just don't even fuck with him. Just go get an archaeologist. All right, his answers will be a lot more accommodating. You know, because to them, to a geologist, he's gonna I don't know if it's a pyramid or not. Listen, I can just tell you this already. These fucking ingenious rocks have been here since, you know, for 800 million years, you know. It's like he's just fucking trumping. Get yourself an archaeologist, you know, someone who knows the history of the Hawaiian, you know, the islands there, and if there's anything else, you know, similar to it. But don't, yeah, like I said, don't give away the location. Just, you know, fun. In fact, you know, just, you know, and so that's the thing. People say, oh man, you know, well, how come, like, you know, why would anyone fucking discover something and then keep the location secret? Kind of like the, you know, with like the Nazca mummies and shit, you know, because of shit like this, you know. I'll tell you what, if I fucking had found those mummies, no one would ever know. I would never tell you where I found them, dude. You know. That's how everybody is. They're just like, shut the fuck up, man. You know, like if that's like your little honeypot, you know, you're not just gonna invite everybody over to come in and have a fucking lick. You know, this is my special honeypot. Yeah, see, they don't want people. Blake and Brent is saying right now. They're saying they don't want people coming around like the monolith fiasco. Absolutely, you know, good point. For real, you know. Exactly. You know, because next thing you know, you get some asshole like me coming out there and stealing that shit. You know, someone thought I was serious about that, Blake, right? You guys know that, right? Yeah, video we made. Someone thought I was fucking, that was a real video. Like, I was out there, like, admitting, like, I went and stole them out. Like, I'm like, what the Someone thought that was real. I'm like, shut the fuck up. Are you fucking stupid? CNN banned you for saying bomb Iran on. That's funny. I just uploaded like a couple days ago or something. It's funny. Yeah, with that you know what I did with that UFO going straight up. What up, Lavera? How you doing, baby? Yeah, Cindy Johnson saying keep it its location secret as long as you can. I agree. Bob saying no, tell all. Yeah, don't tell anybody until you know what it is. All right, figure out what you got and then come out. Which is exactly like why the government doesn't fucking just come out and blurt out about like, yeah, UFOs. You know, they want to, you know, yeah, we got one we're working on. They have to know what they got before they come out and say shit. You know. Good morning, Cindy. How you doing, baby? What up, RG? What is that? Polish king? Is that what it says, dude? Fucking pole skiing or something? I don't know. It's like, oh, RT pole smoker. How you doing, brother? Smoking that pole, huh? Yeah. Bob says I'm here for the real news, right? Sorry, we got to go. We got a big show coming up in 5 minutes on third phase of moon. Oh man, rock and roll, go rock a big show. Get the fuck out of here, you fucks. Don't tell anybody where that shit is. I'll hit you guys up later tonight, right? I think the UFOs are us, and the tech is way more advanced than most of us have access to. Controlling the masses is what it's all about. I seriously doubt that. I seriously doubt it. You know, uh, I mean, I know for a fact the UFO is real. I know that at least the ones I experience are in fact real UFOs from God knows fuck where. I know they don't come from Earth. I'll tell you that. And I don't know how I know that. It's not like there's some. There's not like a sign on his head. You know, we come from fucking Plutarch or something. You know, that's not. Nothing like that. You know, I didn't fucking fly with them to their home planet or something. I have no idea where it's from. But I'll tell you what. It's something when they're so fucking unnerving. It's just feels wrong when you see it. Just like, like you do not fit into this motherfucker. Like, it's something about it is not right. You're just like, get the fuck out of here, dude. Like, it does not fit into this fucking world. I mean, you know, just the fact that we've seen like this, you know, you're like, this machine is just like flying in this way. You're just like, what the? It just doesn't make sense, you know? It just throws you for a fucking loop. I mean, just listen to how like David Favier, Captain Favier at the Tic Tac incident describes it, and his wingman or whatever, that one chick, you know, she was getting freaked out, you know. I mean, because you know, you're seeing something do something, and you're like, oh, I can't, yeah, I'm fucked, you know, and it puts you in a weird state because you're just like, what are you gonna do, you know? I mean, not once did either one of them attempt to hail the Tic Tac. Why not? Why not? If it was any other craft, the first thing they would have done was try to hail it. They would have been like, you know, hey, craft, what the fuck are you doing? That's the first thing they would have done. They didn't even attempt it. The thought never crossed their fucking mind to try to hail this fucking flying object. All right? Why is that? Because they knew what they were looking at instantly. This is not right. It ain't from here. All you're doing is wasting your breath to get on the radio. You're not talking to this thing. You're not hailing it. It's not going to answer you back, you know? And this is something you know instantly. That's how you know a fucking real UFO from something you're just unable to identify, all right? You identify it subconsciously is, I think, what I'm saying. It's weird, but it's definitely true. That there's no doubt about that. For me, you know, I know, I'm sure you guys might doubt it, but whatever, I'm right. They freaked out because they knew it wasn't afraid of them. Oh yeah, you know, and that's the thing. You know, I think, you know, the thing is that the planes would the one guy talked about, the guy who was doing the radar was talking about, he's like, it's raining UFOs, so hundreds of them, and you know, it might have, you know, been news to him, but not to ufologists. To ufologists, we're like, oh, that's a fucking flotilla. You know, that's something that's seen over Mexico all the time, which is interesting because that shit happened like right off the coast of Mexico. So that's interesting as well. But yeah, that's, you know, that's something that's well known in the world of ufology. About, you'll see hundreds of UFOs fucking flying through the sky, all fucking moving with, you know, all at the same rate or whatever, slow speed and shit. You know, that's a common thing we know about. But you know, probably to them, probably never had a clue about it. You know, yeah, but I mean, like, so, you know, these guys were, you know, they could definitely, you know, get freaked out or whatever. I mean, like, when you see it, they're probably like, oh, this, you know, doing what it's doing. They're like, it's not from Earth. What the fuck, you know? And they probably want to get closer, and it's probably fascinating. Look out there. Oh my God. But it's going to be unnerving, to say the least. And, yeah, wanting to get a closer look is one thing, but having this thing, you know, react to you, you know, and that's the thing. Why didn't they attempt to follow the intruder? You know, this aircraft that had intruded upon their fucking designated airspace. You know, why weren't, you know, that craft should have been pursued and fucking, you know, should have been forced to fucking land somewhere, and the pilot should have been interrogated and all this shit. They knew as soon as that thing zoomed past them at a speed that was unfucking reachable by any human means, they're like, we're not even going to try to follow it. They're just like, that's, you know, because it's a whole different level of like, this is fucking, you know, and you gotta remember, David Favor's been telling a story since 2004. He's never said, he goes, oh, I chased some, some weird airplane I've never seen before. No. He's like, yeah, I chased a UFO. How does he know that? Because when you see a real one, you're like, oh, fuck, this is, it's a totally, it's not the same thing as, seeing something you can't identify. That's two totally different things. Uh, um, yeah. So, and I don't know what they were saying about the photograph of a balloon or something. You know, the Navy fighter pilot like capturing or something. Whatever third phase was saying. I don't know what they're talking about there, but I do know that they are you know experts on people who film balloons. I do know that. So I mean, they might have a point. I don't know. I haven't seen it. Maybe we're talking about two different things. I don't know, but I do know their background and some of their old homies, and they know very well about filming balloons. So they don't even have to look like balloons. They can literally look like motherfucking Ninja Turtles or whatever the fuck. And they're like, oh, it's a goddamn alien. It sounds so stupid when I say it now. And then I think back and I'm just like, oh my god. No wonder I got so fucking mad. Oh, for any people who don't know what I'm talking about, when I first started, I was a very angry person. My debunks were very angry, especially with balloon summoners, people who would claim to summon UFOs, but they would summon them, and then the UFO would show up, and it would say "Happy Birthday" on it. I'm like, what the fuck? You fucked with a balloon. They're like, no, it's not. It's a fucking mimic anomaly. you know, but. Yeah, so um hopefully that I want to go and actually see if this video is out yet, because I mean, I guess this story broke like 2 days ago or something. um so maybe the footage has already been leaked. I'm not 100%. uh but Commander Fravor believes Bob Lazar and you don't. Why don't you believe Bob Lazar? My email is the number one, okay? Then the letters UFO, and then the number 4, and then the word truth. So that's 1 UFO 4 truth at gmail.com. Get that? All right, send me your shit. He didn't pass the body language experts. Actually, there were a number of body language people who looked at Bob Lazar and said he was telling the truth. And then there were a number of them who said he wasn't telling the truth. And guess how accurate body language experts are? Well, guess what? They don't even use them in fucking court. That's how accurate they are, all right? They are not accurate by any means. That's fuck. It can't. It's not. Never used in fucking court. It's never used for anything other than fucking, the study of body language itself. I mean, like, it's not. It's that there's not a science to understanding body language, right? There is your own personal experience of, oh, this guy was telling me the truth and he was doing this, or this guy was lying and he did this, so we can kind of, but you cannot, all the signs that they say, oh, people will do this when they're not, everyone does that shit, dude. There are some people who fucking act completely different from it, and it's like body language just experts just doesn't count. What counts, I'll tell you, is what Bob's saying, all right, what he says, the evidence that he brings forth, all right, everything that happened. You gotta make these considerations, all right, that Bob had said things time and time again back in 1989 that only with the passage of 25, 30 years what came out to be true, all right? But in the end, everything always comes out to be true. I mean, just countless fucking things. Think about this. So, who runs the UFO task force right now? What fucking division heads that? That is the Department of Naval Intelligence. All right, that's who heads it right now. Now, go back to 1989. Who signed Bob Lazar's checks? Okay, who was the company that paid Bob Lazar? The Department of Naval Intelligence. All right. So the same company, or the same fucking intelligence agency that runs our UFO task force today, is the same company that paid Bob Lazar, gave him his paychecks back in 1989. These are the guys who fuck with UFOs. That's them, all right? They're the ones who do it, all right? Obviously, knew about element 115, but this was in physics, people understood about that, but, and he said back then, he's like, oh yeah, he's like, yeah, it exists, but it exists naturally in another solar system somewhere else. He's like, in our solar system, it doesn't exist. All we would have to synthesize it in a lab. And for us to synthesize a heavy element like 115 is next to impossible. It would take us forever. Like, well, yeah, we'll be able to do it. We'll be able to synthesize a couple atoms, all right? Atoms. He's like, and that's it. He's like, even if we were able to, okay, even if we were able to synthesize a shitload of it, and so we can make an actual usable amount. He's like, you could not create a gravitational field from that kind of 115, all right? He's like, that synthesized element 115 from a lab, Moscovian, is not the same as the naturally occurring element 115 that they had, all right? It would be like, okay, so tell me, would you ever consider a synthetic diamond to be a real diamond? Would you ever consider them to even be close to each other? No, no, you would not, okay? Synthetic gold as opposed to actual gold. They're just not the same thing. They're two just totally different things, and they have different properties to them and shit, and they have a different kind of structural makeup. So, but he was right about that. He was right about how gravity is a wave, and he's like, and back then, even today, people are still taught that. Well, at least a little while ago, they're taught that gravity is a that they gave it a name with the that's an influence of gravitons. That's what we were taught is gravitons. Is the fundamental force of gravity, all right? And that's what they were taught back then in school and academia. And he goes, no. He's like, even though that's what he was like, he goes, but that's not it. In fact, gravity is a wave. I know for a fact it's a wave because in the craft, we would focus a gravity wave and we'd run up a fucking, it'd run through a tuned tube like a fucking microwave, and then it would fucking go around the entire ship by what looks like a fucking antenna it's not an antenna receiving fucking, a radio signal or cable television. It's a fucking waveguide that the wave is actually fucking transferred along to run along the fucking ship. He's like, it's absolutely a wave. And then, how many years later, we were able to fucking prove gravity is a wave 100%. That's the truth. The hand scanners, he's like, yeah, there's these things that scan your hands. Those are the fucking scanners that they used to scan your hands when you went into secret military bases back then in the 1980s. And people say, oh, he could have got that from what's the Close Encounters of the Third Kind, all right? Guess what? Why was that in Close Encounters? Because J. Allen Hynek, the director of Project Blue Book, the study of UFOs for 20 fucking years, helped Steven Spielberg write that movie and help him make it absolutely legitimate, in every way he could. And because he had access to secret places where they studied UFO shit, that's the stuff that they would use, that kind of fucking hand scanner. So that's why they got it in the fucking movie, all right? But that is true. That is what they use at Area 51 and shit like that. He knew that you fly to get to Area 51, that you take the Janet Airlines, a plane with no name, and you'd go out to the fucking desert. It's like, he knew that. How the fuck did he know that? Just to begin with, and then he goes, yeah, but I'd fly to Area 51. But he's like, but that's not where the crafts were. I worked at S4, which is about 15 miles south of Area 51 at the Papoose Lake bed. Okay, so let's just say he's completely making that up. However, you can go on Google Earth today and see that if he is making it up, he's incredibly fucking lucky, because there is a road leading from Area 51 around Papoose Mountain all the way down to the Papoose Lake bed, exactly where he said he went. And there is a road there. Why is there a road there? If there's no base, if there's no installation, what the fuck? Why is there a road going out there to begin with? Because he's telling the truth. Because he's like, no, that's where we went. And it's like, and so, we lived here many, many years ahead of us in technology. So the Air Force tries to be like 30 years ahead of us in technology, but DARPA is 45 years ahead of us in technology, man. In fact, I was seeing stuff from DARPA where they, in the 70s, in the 1970s, man, they had a thing where you could fucking go, and it looked like how Google Maps is, how when you do the street view, and you just could go down the street and fucking control it and stop and fucking move and go anywhere or whatever. They had that in the 1970s. So to sit there and think, oh yeah, man, these guys aren't, yeah, they are. No, they know what they're doing. They're on a whole different level, man. Like if you have a fire at your fucking where you work, they might have sprinklers, or they might have the Halox system. All right. At DARPA, if they have a fire, their fucking speakers are implanted throughout the entire building that have a certain tune that will put fires out, dude. All right, because these are how advanced these guys are. It's fucking crazy, man. They are on a totally different level, dude. You gotta imagine the smartest minds in the world come there, and fucking they just throw money at them, whatever they want, dude. There's no like, oh man, they're not like out there sweating like, oh god, I hope we get fucking funded. Like they get the money. If they ask for it, they get it. They're like, we want to do this. They're like, sure, go ahead. Whatever the fuck you want, build a robot, do this, yeah, go ahead, whatever. Do whatever the fuck you want. That's how it is. Yeah, it's pretty cool, huh? Right? All right, cool. Yeah, I'll check it out, man. Yeah, but there's so many more things with Bob Lazar, right? I mean, his fucking he even gave away his tax return, because he's like, listen, I don't have any fucking stuff that you use. Like when you leave the place, you don't get to take your shit with you. They keep all that stuff, so you don't have anything to say. Oh, I was here. That's not how it fucking works. You don't get to work at a secret location and then leave with stuff like, yeah, guess where I was. Like fucking, I got this shirt at fucking S4. That's not like that. They keep your IDs and all that shit. But the one thing they can't keep is your tax stuff. And they had to send him his fucking tax return, and so he had that. And he's like, yeah, look here. And it's like, in those numbers, his tax fucking numbers fucking went to a top secret place with such high clearance that even people in the Pentagon who tried to look it up were told by their fucking people, like, don't ever look this shit up again. You know, just get out of my fucking office. Don't come here. You're not allowed to. This is above your fucking pay grade. You know, you say you just shut the fuck up and do your job. That's it. You know, you don't get to come around here investigating shit. It's. I mean, there's a million fucking things. You know, and it's so you gotta understand. Also, you know, Bob would be like the perfect guy too. You got when he's going to the interview and they're asking him like, you know, what do you do for, you know, for fun? What do you do for fun? He's like, well, I built particle accelerator in my master bedroom. You know, he has a water powered car. His Corvette, which is awesome, is fucking literally he takes a garden hose and pours it into the tank and he drives. All right. Well, to make a car run on water that way, it's not really water. It's running on hydrogen. To do it the way he did it, you have to create a certain kind of metal. That metal is actually used in thermonuclear devices. So it is illegal to purchase, it is illegal to sell because of that, because it's used for thermonuclear devices. However, there's a loophole in the law that says, yeah, you can't buy it, you can't sell it, but you can make it, you know. Unfortunately, most people cannot just build a particle accelerator. There's only a couple of them on Earth, you know, fucking, you know, the Large Hadron Collider and shit like that. So they're not worried about people doing it. Well, Bob went and did it. He went and he built it so he could make this metal, so he could fucking make his car run on water, you know. I mean, so not only, you gotta understand something, like, so take CERN, you know, the Large Hadron Collider or whatever. There are two types of scientists who work there. There are theoretical physicists, and then there are mechanical engineers. And you need both of them to make something like CERN work. So you have theoretical physicists who are coming up with the mathematics and the fundamentals of the equations for them to work with. And then the mechanical engineers are taking that information and building a machine to give them an approximation of what their theories are saying. All right. And so they can make, you know, predictions to do this, or this is going to happen, that's going to happen. They need each other to work. They can't, one of them cannot make CERN work, or just one of them. They have to have both of them. Bob, on the other hand, could do theoretical physics and mechanical engineering. So he could come up with the stuff in his mind. He could come up with the mathematical equations and formulas to make his predictions and stuff. And then he could go and actually create the devices he needed to prove what his theories were saying. You know, to actually to create something to predict what the you know, his equations were showing, you know. So he could do both of them. He would have been the perfect kind of person to work at a place like S4. And not only that, he worked at Los Alamos. He is a physicist. He is a really smart guy. He does all these nerdy stuff in his spare time, so he's the kind of person you would want. And also, he lives in Las Vegas. They're like, this is fucking perfect. You know, it's like fucking, you know, like we're here out in the desert. It's not like you can't just go around the whole world. You have to have somebody at least fucking halfway fucking close to you, you know? And he's right there in Vegas, right where all the employees at Area 51 all live in Vegas. So they're like, perfect. Yeah, I mean, they're like, this is just a guy. As soon as they had a qualified physicist come in who wanted to work in fucking propulsion, in exotic propulsions and shit. They're like, and like at the time he was really into fucking new lasers and shit like that. And he was, knew all kinds of shit about fucking real powerful lasers and stuff. They're like, this is the exact kind of guy we want. You know, let's get him into S4. Let's get him, and he's thinking, okay, I'll go to Area 51. I'll get to work on, like the Scramjet or the new Ramjet or something. He didn't have any clue that they're like, okay, listen, here you go. But I mean, he's the perfect kind of individual to be put in there and to do that shit, And the thing is like, people will understand. Yeah, he came out and fucking and told everybody, but they weren't fucking calling him back and shit. You know why? Because they didn't call him to come back into work because they found out his wife was fucking her pilot, or the guy, there was a fucking pilot that was teaching her how to fly, was giving her flying lessons. Yeah, and while he was up there, he was fucking her. and so they were like, oh man, this is gonna fucking throw Bob Lazar. He's gonna go all crazy, get upset, and we can't have him doing that. He's gonna be unstable. Can't have him at work. Also, the fact that fucking the Russians were there and they were worried the Russians were gonna kill Bob. They try to issue Bob a gun and shit. So people don't know that, but this is in his book, you know. And they try to issue him a gun. He's like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" You know, like, you know. But the Russians were there working for a little while, and then a discovery had been made, and they kicked the Russians the fuck out. You know, and that's the thing. Bob, we don't. He doesn't even know where we got the fucking UFO. The fact is, we may have gotten it from Russia. You know. So the thing is I'm assuming is that uh, one of these older countries had, you know, whatever. There was a time, however long ago, where, you know, the fucking a UFO had fucking crashed or had been discovered, and um, perhaps, you know, just the fact like it might have been discovered, and uh, it might have been leaking radiation or something. So as they came to it to see this discovery, they're like, "Wow, and they're dying and shit." They're like, "You know what? Okay, so anyone who comes in is gonna die. So everyone just shut the fuck up. So we don't send people over to it, you know, until we can figure out what's going on." And then, you know, years and years would go by until they were able to fucking determine, listen, this is what we gotta do. And it might have been forgotten about for 100 years or something. Who knows, you know? But because Bob did say on Joe Rogan that he believes that it was an archaeological discovery. And I'm saying that, you know, shit like that makes sense. You know, I'm sure there's probably a couple of them that were discovered like that. Like, I almost positive that the Nuremberg UFO incident in 1506 was that some of those UFOs, because they were battling with each other, they fell to the earth. It's a woodcut shows them falling from the sky, landing on the ground, being on fucking fire and smoke and shit. That they did hit the ground, that they were there, you know? So, that being said, perhaps some of them may have been left there for 500 years. And then you have someone like fucking some esoteric fuck like Heimlich Himmler, who's, you know, really into the occult and shit, going back through German history and says, "Oh my God, you know, did you guys know that fucking here in Nuremberg, there's fucking these alien craft like crash, you know? I wonder if these fucking devices are still there." And then they go there and they fucking find them under the ground and shit. And then, you know, "Oh, cool, we got one. Well, we can't even open it up. We don't know what it does, but we got it." You know, it's not winning the war for you. You know? "Oh, and guess what? You just got your ass kicked. And now the Yanks got it. God damn it, dude. Oh, and they got Von Braun, motherfucker." You know? I'm just saying, I could see something like that happening. You know? Yet to be proven wrong in any area of his story. Still, as far as I know, it's true, and that's awesome, right? You know, I mean, like, it's just countless. This everything he says, this is time and time again. Everything he says turns out to be true, and you know, Bob. I'm telling you, give it a chance. Go back and go over it again. You know, and don't go in there with the fucking, you know, "Oh, this guy's fucking lying. This guy's full of shit." You know, go in there as if you were a fucking scientist. You know, and hear what he's saying then. You know, go read his book, Dreamland. It just came out. I mean, and how long? This guy's been around forever, since 1989, right? This is the first time he's ever put anything out that he made money from this fucking thing, you know, is this book. And the book, I mean, as far as I know, I'm the only motherfucker who got it. You know, you think, "Oh, it's dude, it's not like it's put out there like fucking huge, you know." But fans like me, it is, you know. But yeah, it's, you know, fucking go watch his original documentary, the original video that he put out. He explains the science of it. He tells you, he's like, "Listen, I'll tell you what I know to be fact. Okay, this is stuff that I've seen myself personally, so I can say for a fact this is true. I will tell you that. Then I will tell you what the stuff that I was told." All right. So this is hearsay. This is secondhand information. This is stuff that I was not privy to. I was simply told this. So I cannot tell you, I cannot guarantee how fucking accurate some of these statements are. I will tell you exactly what it was told to me. So that's how, you know, that's how he's got to bring, you know, that's how he brings it. And I mean, like, I mean, when you're a nerd like me, okay, I've been fucking, you know, into scientists and forever, especially watching different lectures and symposiums and shit, dude. And there's fucking nothing about Bob that says, "Oh, he's an actor." Everything about him says he's a scientist. All right, that's 100%. You got to go, give it a chance. Go back again, and then just take what he's saying and how he's saying. Go watch all the different videos that are out there of him telling the story about what happened and find the discrepancies. That's what I want you to do. Go find the discrepancies where he's like, oh, he said this here, where he was saying, fucking, he did this, but now he's saying, oh yeah, well he did this, and then he did this as well, and it got even more fantastic, or whatever the fuck, You'll never find it. It doesn't exist because every time he tells a story, it's the same story. Because he's like, this is just what happened. He's like, it's fucking. He's like, this is what it is, man. He's like, I worked there, and he's like, I'm a physicist and blah blah blah. And, I mean, if he was one of these attention seeking guys, how come he never went on the UFO circuit? Why didn't he ever go fucking? He could have fucking made a huge living off that forever. Travis Walton did. Why didn't Bob Lazar? Why? Because Bob Lazar is not a fucking lecturer. He's a scientist, What his job is today. He owns a company called United Nuclear, right? So they sell scientific equipment and shit like that. So, I mean, like, his whole job is all science. All he's ever done is science, Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he's probably got to make pretty good money for each one of his fucking speeches. I don't know. He might do some of them for free, or maybe he'll talk to people. I don't know. But I'll tell you what, he deserves his money. Travis. But we're talking about Travis Walton at this moment, right? If I would never hold that against him. To say, oh, you're just doing it for the money. You just made everything up. It's like, hey, man, you go through a fucking experience like that. What are you supposed to fucking do? It's like that. I would never shut up about it. So might as well make some fucking money, right? I believe Bob Lazar. Plus, he was nice to me on Twitter. He answered my questions. Yeah, you know what? Bob was on Twitter for a tiny little bit, and he was fucking, and he talked to me too, and he was really fucking cool. And then he was gone. It was fucking disappointment, dude. And then, oh yeah, so check this shit out. Motherfucking, I see a tweet from Alien Scientist. I don't know if you guys know Alien Scientist. Jeremy, he's a friend of mine who's been on the show a couple times. He's on there. He says, Ed Fouché comes out and talks about the TR3B and blah blah blah, and he's like, and he is a friend of mine, and Ed is someone I know, and blah blah blah. And he's sitting there saying that shit, and he has some pictures of this thing of a TR3B or whatever, a couple like 4 photographs or whatever. Okay. And I'm like thinking, and Alien Scientist hates Bob Lazar. He's like, oh, you're not a physicist. Well, I'm a physicist. Look at my fucking degree, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So he hates him. But then he comes out and goes, oh, but Ed Fouché, who's my friend, he's telling the truth. It's like, dude, no, Ed Fouché is full of shit. I'm sorry. That guy's a straight up con man fucking liar, dude. He's not even a good liar. It's like, okay, well, Bob was a liar. At least he must have sat down and fucking studied everything about the subject because he knows what he's talking about, Ed Fouché, you try to ask him a thing about science or physics, he'll say shit that's like, that word doesn't make sense what you like. I don't think you know what you're saying. He's just trying to sound smart. So he'll use a word, but he don't actually know what it means, So like this guy is a total fucking con man. He's completely fucking full of shit. All right. But then on top of it, the fucking, the little 4 pictures that he had posted with the tweet, one of them was from a fucking UFO video that UFO proof, personally fucking debunked, all right? And I was like, you fuck, this guy, you believe this fuck, and you put this picture up of a fucking straight up hoax fucking UFO video that I debunked. Here's the link, watch it, and I'm like, fucking, they could have screen grabbed it from my fucking video, dude. I mean, like, it's fucking crazy. I'm like, you fuck, like what the, you sitting there, oh yeah, you say Bob Lazar's a liar, but this guy Ed Fouché is telling the truth about TR3B. However, he's sharing a fucking photo of a hazard sign from your car, and taking a picture of it when it's reflecting off the windshield. Okay, he's sharing a photo of that. He's claiming it's ATR3B, and you're saying that this guy is telling the truth, but Bob Lazar is full of shit. Like really, like what the fuck, dude? And that's the thing. I remember on Bob Lazar's Twitter when he was on there for just a little bit, man. One of the coolest things I saw, first thing, is he had a picture of him posted as a 12-year-old boy on a bike with a fucking rocket motor, dude. He was building rocket bikes when he was 12 years old. Like, were you? No, you were not. Shut the fuck up. You weren't, but he was. He's just he's a fucking science nerd. He's always has been. He fucking always will be. It's as simple as that. So I'm, like if he was pretending to be a scientist, then he must have just grabbed every fucking science book he could and fucking memorized them to pretend to be a scientist and ended up becoming a scientist in the meantime, because he fucking literally talks and knows what a scientist knows. Like he's fucking just smart like that. And he's just that kind of guy. You can just tell. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. I'm telling you, go back over it. I think you might have a little more appreciation for it, but I don't want to tell anyone what to believe. But I'm a real skeptical person. I really am. And if I see bullshit for a second, I will fucking call you the fuck out on it. I give two fucks about it. I can't wait to call a motherfucker out. And if I saw anything in there that indicated that I could use to say, oh, Bob's full of shit, I would go after it and fucking investigate it and see if this is legitimate or not or whatever. 100%. I've done it to myself time and time again where there was videos where I was like, this is the best UFO video, period. And then later I'd watch it and I realized, you know what? That's not right. And I would have to go back and then fucking admit to everybody, I'm like, you know what? I had to change my mind. This is no good. And it sucks, but that's just the way I am. That's the way it's got to be done. And yet, but that shit has never happened when it comes to Bob Lazar. And I've looked and everything about him, like, yep, listen, that's legitimate. That's, fucking, just the math, the science, everything he talks about. He knows what he's saying. Does Bob have pounds of 115? No, not at all. No. Fucking Bob took the 115 that they had to get cut into shapes to become the fuel for the craft or whatever. And when you take it to get machined, the machine has to cut it in a certain fucking angle. It has to cut it in like a pizza pie and then fucking shave it at a certain angle and shit like that. While it's doing these cuttings, there are little shavings that are coming off of it, all right? Little pieces like that. All of that had to be collected back. And this was told to them that they're like, I need everything back. It's not an unusual order. A lot of times the government is testing stuff that's really secure or really valuable. And they're like, I need it all back. So that didn't blow them away, but they're like, we need it all back. And so after they did all the cutting, they gave that shit and they gave it to Bob. And then Bob had to take it back to S4. And when he took it back, he took some of them fucking shavings and shit. He's like, and I promise you, I bet you he couldn't wait to get home to run his own experiments, dude. And it's like, because he eventually did that. And I already know for a fact he eventually did that. I'm just saying that I personally believe, I bet you fucking as soon as he had those, he's probably like, fuck work, let's just go home and fucking test them right now, Like he probably couldn't wait to get home and run his own experiments. But he probably got it, fucking waited for a couple days just to make sure, he won't follow it, or, the guys wouldn't check it. Because he had fucking security people checking on him and shit. Like, so he had friends and shit over, family that people have interviewed while these guys would come over, fucking doing background checks on him and shit, So while he was getting a security clearance. So it's like, fucking, what did he hire guys to come over while he had fucking family and friends over and shit? Like, no, dude, he was really there, it really happened, but he later was running experiments where they would fucking, test the element 115. And apparently, I'm assuming that its half-life can't be too long once you're bombarding it with fucking protons. It's got to decay eventually. So, I don't think it could be used as fuel. However, it could be used to do cool little tricks like maybe like bend light and shit like that, you know, and uh, um, cause fucking be used to fucking affect the electromagnetic field and shit like that, and so it's shit like that, it's been cool fucking experiments, to experiment with it inside a cloud chamber at your house. Like, how cool would that be, dude? And I'd never leave home. I'd just be sitting there all day just staring at it. Just like, oh, look at that one. Look at, oh, it's so fucking cool, Makes a cool new laser, right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's very good chat. Yeah, so he said I'd snort it out. Yeah, 420, right? Exactly. All right, you guys. Well, I want to thank everyone for joining me. The main thing I wanted to come on here and talk about is this stuff with the new UFO videos. That shit's got to come out. Hopefully, it'll come out soon. You guys go out there and spread your word. Like, subscribe, share, give me money, donate money to my PayPal. Fucking support me on Patreon. Fucking come and join the channel membership. That's another way you get all kind of cool free perks. I put out all kinds of cool skits and videos and shit that's exclusive to the members and shit, man. That I don't put on the regular channel for at least a while anyway. All that cool shit. Go to Teespring, buy UFO proof merchandise. Give me money because YouTube certainly does not. All right. So I pay for all this shit. It's not like I actually make money from YouTube. All right. I actually pay to do this show, but I enjoy doing it. But you can help me offset the cost by buying some shit or just giving me money. All right. Whatever the fuck. Yeah, I know it's a fucked up way to say it, but in the end, every YouTuber is doing the same exact thing I'm doing. They're just not as straightforward as I am. All right. They're like fucking, support your channel and blah, blah, blah. I'm just, give me some fucking money. We're all saying the same thing. I'm just being real blunt when I say it. All right. Give me lots of money. Whatever. I don't know. Then make sure you check out my homies' channels and shit. Go check out Third Phase of Moon. And I think they're probably going right now live. Just go check their shit out. Go say what's up. Tell them UFO Proof sent you. And go check out my boy Goofon and Alien Addict and all those guys down there and Dr. J and all that shit. Go check out their channels. Give them thumbs up. Tell them UFO Proof sent you, and give them some money and whatever the fuck. We all, all of us except for Third Phase Moon. We all fucking pay to do YouTube. None of us are making any fucking money. Bro, fucking give them money. That's fucking right, don't we, That's fucking right, don't. Exactly. Yeah, no, I appreciate you guys. I had a great time with everybody tonight. Thank you for joining me. I'll have a new video coming up soon. I'll be going live again tomorrow, and like, subscribe, share with all your friends, tell everybody about it, blah blah blah, all that good shit. I love you guys. I will see you guys next time. All right, UFO Proof out. All right, later, you guys.